Welcome to day 8 of the Mindfulness Challenge. Hope you're well. Hope that you're finding the benefits of the practice. Again, research shows that as little as 8 minutes a day of mindfulness practice, as well as mindful living, using the practice off of the chair and off of the cushion in real life situations, provides tremendous benefit to the mind, body, and heart. So keep up the good work, keep up the practice, find that daily 15-20 minutes to invest in yourself. Today's practice is going to be around specifically emotions and thoughts, and remembering that mindfulness creates space between a stimulus and a reaction, and often as creatures of habit we receive the same stimulus and react very similarly. It might be with our students or with our family, it might be just internally an emotion and we react the same way. And that mindfulness creates space and time to allow us to have freedom to choose a wise response that benefits ourselves and the ones around us. And with emotions, one of the key factors of being able to create the space and time is being able to observe emotions without attaching ourselves to them and just naming them, allowing them to be there without any judgment, without any right or wrong, especially when we think of the quote-unquote negative emotions. Just allow them to be there, inquire on how they feel, and creating space and time can simply be with a breath or sound, but with emotions, by naming them, we can tame them. We say name it to tame it. And that could be anger is arising, and you just gently, instead of I am angry, you just gently say anger, anger, anger in your mind. Or maybe you need to do it for 5 times. And then let the breath be an awareness or sounds, and notice how quickly or how long it might take without any judgment for the emotion to pass. Some of these more challenging emotions can stick around for a while, right? So we also know that not all emotions will come and go quickly, some will take longer, and that part of what the human mind likes to do is dwell on negative, right? Those emotions or feelings or experiences that are positive, they kind of float by and smoothly, like rolling off of Teflon. But the stronger, more challenging, negative, quote unquote, emotions can be like super glue, and they can be very challenging to allow to pass. And most of that's because we avoid and ignore at all costs. We try to get away from them. And so here, today, we're going to do the practice of being in stillness and just seeing the emotions as they arise, and we'll use some different kind of visualization techniques to notice experiences, and using both naming the emotion, noticing where the emotion might show up in our body, and then allowing ourselves to use the breath as the reset, and then coming back to the present moment with whatever's arising. So find yourself in your cushion or in your chair with a straight back, shoulders relaxed. Let the stomach become loose and the feet relax as well. Check your jaw, check the area around your eyes, and gently close your eyes. Come into stillness, really with deep gratitude for yourself and compassion and care. Find the breath. Inhale, space, exhale. Notice the length of the natural breath right now. Notice where distractions might occur. And just notice your body. Almost like the whole body is inhaling. Feel it expand. Notice the stillness in between, and then notice how the whole body sinks with the exhale. Stay with each breath, noticing the details, the differences and similarities. And then just notice the full body. Notice if there's areas of pain or tightness, if there's areas of ease and relaxation. Again, awareness dissolves and awareness changes the path. And allow your attention to now focus on mental activity. Looking at what types of thoughts you're having, how often they're arising. Notice if the thinking mind is caught in the future and the past, or if you're thinking about the present moment. And notice what happens when we bring attention to our thoughts. You might notice more spaciousness. You might notice less thinking. Or maybe you notice that there's more. With awareness, often there's more space. So we bring awareness to thinking, and thoughts slow down. We might not even see a thought for a little while. That's totally fine. That's actually a beautiful gift. And check kind of the quality of the mind. Are the thoughts on the positive spectrum or the negative? No opinion about if it's right or wrong. Just whatever is there, just notice. In awareness, we just see as if we're just flashing a light, using that self-awareness, that flashlight, just noticing without any attachment or decisions or opinions or judgments. Remembering that thoughts connect deeply to emotions, and emotions to thoughts. So if this kind of quality of our mind is more kind of on the negative spectrum or the concerned or worried one, our emotions might feel a little bit as well on the more challenging experiences. Or if we're in a joyful state and our thoughts are positive, then we might notice the emotions. But again, everything is temporary, so things can shift pretty quickly. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to actually use visualization to try to really be the following sentences, really experience what I say as if it's really happening in the present moment. And what we're going to practice is both emotional intelligence of understanding emotions as they arise and noticing what they are, as well as regulation, because when we can find the emotion, name it, understand that it is not us, that we are not that emotion, there's the space and time. And then we can choose what our response is. So I'll just say some sentences and give some opportunity for us to really feel them, experience them, as if it's really happening in the here and now. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to inquire, after I say a sentence, on what emotion feels the strongest after I complete the sentence. And you're going to use the naming to taming exercise. So I'll say a sentence, and if it's sadness, you're just gently going to say sadness, sadness, sadness in your mind. And then you're going to check into your body. You're going to look to see where that sadness showed up. It might be in your stomach or your chest or in your head. You're going to look and inquire without any judgment again, just noticing what's happening. Gently, compassionately look at what's happening in the body. And then I'll just say, come back to your breath or reset. And we're going to let that experience just float away like clouds in the sky. And what we're doing here is we're practicing really what we can use in everyday experience. When a challenging emotion arises, we can name it, notice it, create space, and then look into the body to even find out more of what we need to understand deeply what's happening before it overtakes us. And then finally, always using the breath as that anchor to be back in the here and now. So just wait for the sentences to occur and truly believe like you're in the situation. You're driving on the freeway and someone comes really fast and cuts you off and then starts screaming and just gesturing angrily at you. Visualize what that feels like. Now name the emotion that first arises if that experience is true. Name it 3, 4, 5 times. And now check into your body. Where does that emotion find itself in the body? With kind, compassionate awareness. And now gently come back to the breath, the inhale and the exhale. The inhale and the exhale. And just be in reset mode. Let that sentence go in the past. You see a loved one that you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe they're walking to you at the airport or knocking at your front door, and you embrace in the tightest of embraces and just share that special moment of love and longing to be together. Name the emotion 3, 4, 5 times. And then inquire gently into the body. Where does that emotion lie the strongest? Where is it? Where do you feel it most? And then gently come back to the breath again. Reset with each inhale and exhale. So when we're noticing emotions, there might be multiple emotions happening at once, but there's one that's a little stronger usually. So that's the one we're really paying attention to the most. And as we breathe in and we breathe out, we just come back to the here and now. The previous sentences are done with. Stay with each breath. Now, visualizing a situation where someone that you are really challenged by, someone that triggers you every time, or almost every time you communicate with them or see them, and just visualize those emotions or what's happening when you see that person or you have the confrontation, noticing the experience and what emotions arise. And name it 3, 4, 5 times, that emotion that first comes to mind with that person. 3, maybe 5, 6 times, name the emotion. And now gently inquire again, what happened in the body? Notice if it's contraction of the stomach, or the chest, or the head starts to feel heavy, or pressure. Just check in. And then come back gently to the breath and reset. Breathing in, breathing out. Now visualizing either that first time you held your newborn baby, or a nephew or niece, or a good friend's newborn, Just visualize that experience of holding that precious little body, that new being, and cozying up with it. What emotion first came to you right now? Name it 4, 5, 6 times. And then checking into the physical body. Where do those emotions become in the body? And then gently come back to the breath. And just stay with the breath and allow all those sentences to be gone. Just breathing in, breathing out. So mindfulness creates that space between a stimulus and a reaction, instead creating a response. And in that response, we have the freedom to choose how we handle the situation with wisdom in a way that's both healthy for ourselves and healthy for others. There is many situations in life where reaction happens, and normally those reactions happen automatically. We are creatures of habit. Similar neural pathways have been ingrained in our mind for sometimes decades, or since we've been little ones. So to create new neural pathways, we use this practice, both of stillness and cultivation of awareness, so that when we see these situations arising, we don't attach ourselves and become the emotion or become the experience. That we can just see it, create that wonderful space, and allow ourselves to change our behaviors to benefit ourselves. So I look forward to seeing you on day 9. Try to find as many opportunities to use the naming technique. And when you sit in stillness, remember that our minds will be distracted and that we can always come back to mental noting. Noticing whenever distractions occur is also mindfulness, if not the real practice. Be well.